Maybe it was recording. It might have been recording. I sure hope I got that. That actually went pretty well. Hey there, welcome back DIYers. Today, working back on this 2005 Equinox, and got a whole series, I think, of this thing going on now with as many things. But today, as you can see, you gotta take the wheel off, and we got a blown CV joint in there, and we're gonna get that axle changed out. So let me show you what we gotta do. Let's go. Alright, so I'm going to show you a little bit about what's inside, but first of all, we got to get this wheel off here. Get it out of the way. Maybe you're wondering, what's that half-inch impact? That's a, what do they call this? It's a P261 on a 4 amp hour battery. It only got 3 cells on it, but I tell you what, this thing's always coming in clutch and getting the job done, and that's really all that matters. Alright, I'm going to bring you guys in here and show you what we got. Alright, so as you can see, yeah, right there, that whole CV boot right there is completely gone, and yeah, you can see there's a lot of the remnants of the grease and oil that used to be in it. So, of course, we got to take all this stuff out over here, get this pulled out of here, and then we can pop that CV or that whole axle out of there and get it changed out. The one I have is sitting over here on the bench, ready to go. So shouldn't take too long. Get that thing switched out and back down the road again. Alrighty, so here we got, like I said, we're going to take everything apart. First, we're going to start getting this caliper out of the way. Look at there. Look how easy that was. Well, alright, so I cheated. I did take off the bolts out of there. They were a 14 millimeter bolt, and took it off with this 1/2 inch socket. And we're just going to tie this thing up here way out of the way. Hopefully these zip ties will hold it fine. I don't know if they're going to be strong enough. There we go. Get those up there out of the way. Oh, trying to remember everything we need to take apart to get this thing off of here. Hasn't been that long ago we just put new calipers on here and new pads and all that good stuff, so most of the stuff should come apart pretty easy. And of course the carrier for the pads, that comes off next. Then we can take off the disc. So now we just got a matter of taking out the nut here. And alrighty, so we're going to jump right in. Let's go ahead and take this nut off of here. 34 millimeter is what we got here. I'm going to see real time here, see if this thing, this is where things go sideways and they don't work. So we're going to see if this will take it off. Like I said, you guys, inexpensive, gets the job done. Just can't argue with that, you know? All right, now that we got that out of the way, I kind of just realized that didn't really have to take that off, but it's 2 bolts and now it's completely out of the way, and we got plenty of room here to work with. Not gonna have to mess around with it, so. Didn't necessarily have to take the speed sensor off, even the brake caliper probably. But our next step is going to be go ahead and taking off this bottom arm off here. We'll be able to drop that down out of the way. I already did push the axle in here, a couple of wraps with the hammer, pushed it right in there, and now we should be able to, like I said, we've already replaced these once, so we should be able to get that nut and everything off there, be able to knock this down, knock that A-arm out of there, and then pop that out, spin it around, pop the axle out. So let me work on getting that nut off the bottom. There's also a little keeper in there, a little castle nut in there. So you got to take that cotter pin out, then be able to spin that nut off, and then hopefully be able to drop that arm off the bottom. All right, with that little castle nut in there, got that out of there, and that cotter pin. I tell you what, that cotter pin, I'm sure glad I got some other ones because I kind of beat the crap out of that one to try and get it out of there. But some needle nose and a little persuasion, and she's out. So I'm going to try an old trick. Trying to get this to loosen here. I'm not. Oh, look at there. I don't know if you guys seen that or not. You've seen how many times I hit that. Well, that already came loose. Usually what you can also do is you take a hammer, and if I laid it up against the outside of that and then hit it here, that shock, then I'm not going to be hitting the axle or the spindle or anything. The shock goes all the way through right to that piece. But obviously, like I said, hasn't been that long ago that we changed these out, so they weren't rusted in there or anything like that. So now, get this pulled down here like this. Should be able to get this pulled over. Yep, and there we go. Our axle's out. Now we just got to get a pry bar on the inside, be able to pop that loose. And because there's a little C ring in there that once you go in, it kind of pops into place and sets that inner axle in there. So it's just a matter of kind of rolling it around a little bit and popping it, and then hopefully that should come right out of there. So, because yeah, see right now, yeah, I'm just pulling that inside piece together. That's not going to do nothing. So I need to get on that inside bell housing of the axle in order to be able to pull that thing out. So we'll get this thing up a little higher in the air. I'll take you underneath, show you what we're doing. Is there any chance that was on video? No. Maybe it was recording. It might have been recording. I sure hope I got that. That actually went pretty well. So, all right. I guess, yeah, here's the old one. Came out pretty good, but as you can see right there, yeah, that's no bueno right there, what they say. But yeah, there is a possibility we could have gotten a new boot and everything, but I don't know how that would really work. Yeah, I just don't think it's such a great idea. So anyway, seems to be a little easier for me to go ahead and change the whole axle out, and just that extra peace of mind, especially when your kid's driving it, right? So that's out. Now we get to put it all back together. All right, so remember I was talking about that little clip that's kind of holding it in there? I don't know if you can see it. If I zoom in, oh, look at there. Let me get out of there. Maybe. Yeah, right in here. There, see that little clip right there? That run right there? That's what keeps that in there. So once I popped that with that 2x4, it popped it right out, and it just worked out really good. So now we just need to get the new one lined back up in there, slide it back in, and put everything back together. Alrighty, so we got our axle ready to go. Let's get put back in here. Hopefully it'll go right in there, no big deal, but we may have to give it a little wrap. Yep, I'll get it a little wrap here to see if we can get back in here. Here, back up a little bit. Alright, so for some reason it doesn't like, it's that clip I showed you guys earlier. It's just hanging up on trying to get past that. We just need to give it a good, yeah, right there it is. But for some reason I'm not getting past that. So we're going to give it a little more. Actually, that went on without hitting it. There it goes. Now, come around here. Now you can see see, I can't record. Check that out right there. Now, where are we at? Here we are. Right there. Now we are all the way seated back in here to where it should be. You can see kind of right there, if it can focus. Looking at too much stuff here, but right back in here is where we're at. So we should be good now. And should be lined up. Now we can take this back up. Now we should feed this back in here. Bring everything back around. Since that is in there, I'm going to go ahead and try and get the wheel turned back. Straighten back out. And now, I should be able to get that. Yep, so now, got that to slide right back in there. You can pull this back down. Alrighty, there we go. I'm going to bring this back down so I can handle it, and I'll show you what goes on here. Alrighty, now we got down. Got that to lock in there easier now. Go back to that little castle nut and go back here on the back side. Way back up underneath here. Get that back down on here. And we don't just need to tighten that up just a little bit. All right, here, now let's try this wrench. Tighten it up. And remember, start watching. There's a hole in there for that pin. I gotta see what's going on. There we go. So remember that cotter pin we put it that I had to take out of there earlier. We want to make sure we get that. So this was that old one. I'm gonna go see if I can grab a new one. All right, so found me a brand new cotter pin. Be able to slide it right back in here like that. So obviously it's too long, so we're gonna start bending it a little bit to get it around the corner and drop a bunch of stuff on the floor. Where am I at? There we are. We just don't want that castle nut to be able to come back off of there. This will definitely keep that from happening. There we go. All right, that should be done. We should be good to go. Now we can go ahead and put our put that nut back on out here. Make sure that's tight, and then we'll get our brakes and everything put back on. And I'll show you that when we're all done. That should be pretty simple. Y'all should probably have done that before. So let me get that done and let you know what happens when we're done. Alrighty guys, we got everything all buttoned back up. We're ready to send this thing back down the road and finishing that last piece off. It wasn't really necessary, like I said. If you you wanted to take those things off to get it a little more easy to get in there and see what's going on, absolutely can do that. But this is another job complete. Send this one down the road, and someone will be much happier knowing that axle's boot's not going to fall off, or that axle's not going to have a problem, because that's what could happen. That axle could eventually falter or fail, we'll say, and that thing could come apart, and then we have catastrophic whatever could happen. But we're fixed, ready to go. Hope that'll help you guys next time when you're doing a project on your own. Save you a few bucks, and in the meantime, learn a little bit to know how to do it yourself. So, till next time, guys, like, share, subscribe. See you guys.